Hi, my name is Fany Wyadi. I'm the founder of EcoFriendly. Today, I'm going to talk to you about how toxic is your daily choices. So I'm going to start with something that we do every single day. Now, before we even start our daily life, actually, it's called showering. Do you actually realize what exactly the content in your soap bars or liquid bars that you use every day? So for mass-produced soaps, mostly contain chemical detergents, hardeners, synthetic leathering agents to make the bubble, beside, of course, the plastic bottle packaging if you're using the liquids. So some of these chemicals are called paraben. Now, based on the research, paraben actually cause breast cancer because it's increased the breast cell growth. There's a research on the recurrent cancer patients of a woman. And the doctor is wondering why this woman keeps getting the cancer back even after all the treatments that she got. And after they actually did the blood test, they found out that the blood contains all chemicals that are normally found in cosmetics. So I'm going to run through a brief comparisons of mass-produced soap and handmade soaps. So I'm going to share with you my screen. So if you have a look at my screen, these are the comparison between the commercial soaps and the cold processed handmade soap. So for the commercials one, as I slightly mentioned earlier, all right, sometimes they comes in deodorant bars, sometimes they comes in shower gels, sometimes mostly even found in your cosmetics that you apply on your face, all right? While the real soap made, by vegetable oils, using a cold process technique where we leave it naturally until all the lye evaporates and creates soap. Now, for the commercial soaps, contains cheap synthetic fillers like animal fats, while in the cold processed soap, we are only using vegan soap like olive oils, coconut oils, sea butters, cocoa butter. So all of these, all the natural organic that you can actually get naturally. And then, of course, we do not use any synthetic fragrance or perfume, which again are known to cause hormonal imbalance. While in the handmade one, we only use the pure essential oils. They are also, feels a little bit nice, therapeutic without any strong smell. And of course, I personally use the soap bars. And I feel that after changing to soap bars, my skin actually feel not dry and feel very smooth compared to if I'm using the commercials one. Okay, so because the natural glycerin remains intact on your skin after your shower. And of course, the commercial one will use synthetic colorings, to give an interesting different kind of colors, while we're using, herbs, clays. Sometimes we use slightly of a things that comes from food colorings, so everything has to be natural and instead of chemicals. And of course, we do not use SLS, okay, which is like a ingredient to create a bubble, in the soap. And instead we use natural oils and we only add a lye, which to create a nice bubbles, and it will eventually evaporate after we leave it harden for at least 3 to 4 weeks. So it's a very long process in the making of the soap bars itself. So of course, if you notice that I mentioned earlier, the chemical preservative, they will be adding it to increase the shelf life in the counters. However, for a natural one, the longer you leave it, the better the bubble quality. So we will actually like, to leave it, at least 1 month to make, a nice leathery bubbles. And you can use it even after 1 year, 2 years, no problem. And most of those chemicals, commercial one, tested on animals, while we tested all of the products to ourselves, to the families and friends and the team, the lab team, and not to any animal. So it's definitely an animal friendly products. And for those commercial ones, they produce it in bulk by machines, like heavy machine, while we support small businesses and made by real people, we know with really care, and tender love. And for the last part is in terms of waste. This is something that we also concern, because the plastics one or the commercial one contains the plastic containers or the plastic bottles one or even sachet that you will, it will end up in the landfill or in the oceans. So therefore, we prefer a package-free soap bars that perhaps comes with a, compostable packaging. So again, it is more eco-friendly and the packaging is more biodegradable. So in terms of, I'm going back to my presentation here. Okay, I'm back. And so basically, you already know the difference between the commercials and the cold processed handmade soap bars, and for this virtual Green Christmas events, we would like each of you starts these new habits, and as low as possible, as affordable as possible, so that you can start taking care of yourself and your family. I personally use all the soap bars and the shampoo bars. Now, shampoo bars is something a little bit new for the Asian, but you can eventually try it on to see how it goes along with different types of hair, because with the soap bars, it's a little bit more specific, some is suitable, some might not. So you have to find several options that might be, suits your hair type better. And then I also want to make sure, because with these naturally made soap bars, that all my family are protected from any or harmful chemicals as much as possible. So are you ready to make the change to live a toxic-free life and start taking care of our environment more? Thank you. All right, thank you so much for listening. All right, so basically we have some questions coming in, but before we do go there, I'd like to share with you what we've been doing and what a great news that we currently have. So I'm going to share my screen. All right, so basically we are a female-led startups who started because we have a concern of how Indonesia has become the second plastic polluter in the world. So, and that is not a good thing. So basically, we come up with this startup because it's a very, not many people start doing this in Indonesia, but fortunately, recently we would like to share the good news that we had been chosen as a winner for a United Nations Women Web Awards, where we are becoming one of the gender responsive marketplace, because a lot of our products are made by women community, and we would like to take this journey not just for the sake of the commercial wise. Yay, thank you, Crystals. And also, but also we want to bring all the other women, even the scientists are women, and would like to bring, or support them better in making a better life for them and also for their family. So when we started this, we come up with, all different kinds of categories. We have from, of course, start from a personal ones, you have in homes, and things, like clothing that is maybe not many people has or aware of, you know, that there's some certain fabrics that is actually very eco-friendly, some kitchen, which is of course a daily things that is easy to get, and of course commercial as well for business like restaurant or cafe would like to package the products in a more eco-friendly way. So because today is a lot of maybe personal, you know, so I would probably, you know, go for like linen fabrics, you know, and even the mask is tie-dyed with cotton, organic cotton. So what you breathe in when you are breathe the mask, I don't know if Singapore still wearing masks, and when you're wearing the mask and it's polyester or, you know, other man-made fabric or synthetic, you actually breathe in the like microplastic to your lungs, and it stays in your lungs. It will not go away, and that will eventually create problem later on in your life, or even, you know, in the breathing, or, you know, a kind of problem. So that starts from those kind of daily things that we use could actually affect our health. So again, with the clothings, when you wash them off, there's some micro plastic that also release to the water when you wash them. Therefore, we prefer like a handmade tie-dye things, or tencel, which is a more eco-friendly way to make and produce the garments. A lot of natural products that we also use, like linen and cotton. We also upcycle. If you look at this fish nets on the left, it's actually handmade by the women community in Bitung, which is like a beach area in Indonesia. And we literally take the fish nets, unused fish nets, you know, and in exchange of small money to the fishermen, so that we can remake the fish nets into reusable bags. And even the crochet cottons, that it's also a recycled or upcycled one, means it's a leftover cotton threads that is not being used anymore in the manufacturers. And then it's crochet, handmade. We train the woman to crochet them and creates the bag that we can, you know, again, reuse, you know, in our daily life, shoppings, etc. If you look at the gorgeous bags on the right side, they are made of literally the plastic the black plastic liners that is thrown on the garbage, and it's totally unrecyclable, because that is the lowest quality of plastic that you can get. And we again crochet them. I think I have some women who do this, and handmade them to this is the woman, and crochet, knit them and make the fabrics to a bag. So they wash it, there's a cleaning process in it, and then like hand knitted each of the plastic. So the one you see on the real thread, that is actually plastic. So we literally take those plastic, unrecycled plastic, and directly make it into bags. So I'm probably going to our home. Oh, we have also a nice, really low priced hampers that probably will cost you more, but for this occasion, only for these 3 days, we will have like half the price, all of the hampers. So whatever hampers you're looking here are, you know, you can give it to some your office worker, you know, friends, for girls, for women, for boys, is, you know, it's all basically sustainable. If you look at the right side at the back there's a tote bag that is also mixed with canvas, and we make it like a tote bag so that it will be nice when you carry it. Again, made directly from plastic bag. And of course, we have some handmade upcycled goods made by some artisan in Javanese, mixed with some other items like the luva that you in replacement of plastic sponges. So actually, when you wash the dishes, you have to change the sponges quite regularly. So instead of using the plastics one, you can now use the luva that made out of plants, and it's being dried just as it is, without any preservative or any chemicals. And you can compost it after you use it for several months. So it's also available. Some, again, tencel fabrics, soap bars. I think I mentioned a little bit about the soap bars that comes with like all natural. If it's really honey, then we use real honey to it. And then if it's lavenders or if it's salt bars, it's exactly as what it is. It's not putting any synthetic fragrance, so it comes naturally. If it's a chocolate, we do actually have a favorite one. My also favorite one is the chocolate bar, so which is very smells really good. So this is the close-up of ours. So it comes with 2 bags actually. One is the cotton one, full cotton one, and then the other ones is the fishnets ones. And then you of course have some others things that bamboo and things like that. And then maybe for like kitchen, you know, I don't know if there's some people who has some eco-friendly business here. And I noticed that also in Singapore, we always suggest we, you know, take away a lot. So I would suggest you to use a more eco-friendly packaging. Later, I'll go there eventually. So these are just some more of the brushes collections that the people can use on like cleaning their dishes, and also like plates, instead of using the melamine for children on it. And what happens is actually there's a chemical reactions, and it will release carcinogen chemicals, and based on the research, those babies who drink also from the plastic bottle would also contaminated a lot of the plastics. So that is very sad. So that's why we come up with this more like hygienic and wood. When they throw it away, of course, it's, you know, it's totally safe and you don't have to worry about it. Now, eventually, if there's somebody comes from a commercial side of the business, like a coffee shop or restaurant or even supermarkets, we come up with this rattan-based packagings that you can use for your sustainable shops. Because instead of using plastic, you can actually keep it as your home decoration. And this is a very special rattan for Christmas one. We also bring it into our hampers, I think. And also for compostable mailers. So instead of using the plastic bag, this is the more eco-friendly options where you can, this will be composed within 3 months. So it's a very good way because it's plant-based. So it again made not from literally plastic, you know, but another way of doing your business more sustainable. Clothings and then labels made of real cottons. So those compostable packaging comes with all kinds of shapes that you can use, like for boxes and then for retail bags, for mailers. So those kind of things will be nice that you can reuse them. But if they eventually ended up in the landfill, it will eventually break down into small pieces. And also upcycled boxes that we use. So our boxes are not perfect because sometimes they have prints because they are literally upcycled from unused boxes, and then we reshape them into the sizes that you want. So they're not 100% pretty, like perfect, clean, you know, but they're clean, just not as in logo wise. Yeah. So anyway, I'm going to go to, thank you so much for listening so far about a little bit more about ourselves. I'll go to the question and answer. So there is one from the audience here. What is the most hygienic way to store a shampoo bar? He tried before, or she tried before, but she found it a bit messy. So basically for shampoo bar, you can use like a wooden base. All right, so maybe I just go straight away and have a look at the lifestyle. So you can actually use like the soap bars one. Oh, sorry, I think it's under homes, where you can just leave it there so it will get dry. That is the easiest way. So it will when it's dried, it gets more condensed, and it will not be like stick together, you know, and it will be more clean. That's about it. So this is the lifestyle. One moment, I'm going to the home and yeah. So here, this is the example. So you can use something simple like this, like if you see the base. So make sure that it's easy and airy for the soap bars or shampoo bar to dry. Or you can, there's another way, is to put it in the sizzle bags. I don't know if, I think we have something here. Oh, here. like Cecil soap bags. So you put all the shampoo inside or the soap bars that you have, and then you it will stay there, and eventually if there's any leftover there, it will not go or stick to your sink or your bathtubs or your shower space or corners, but it will stay on and stick to the soap bar back. So it will be, you can always use it until it's really finished. So it's also another good ways to save your soap bar. So hopefully I answer your question. And then how long do the soap bars last? Well, depends how often you take shower. Actually, some people take shower 2 times a day, sometimes 3 times a day. So it depends on what is your body size as well. If you're like tall and big, you know, it will last maybe less than 2 weeks. But then if it's you're slightly smaller, then you can go up to 2 weeks. So it really depends on how big is your and what is your ritual for showering. And then you say wooden-based bamboo materials are better for environment. Well, anything that is, I think, not used single used, I would say it's better for the environment. So as long as you get to keep it in the long period of time. Now, wooden, it's slightly, it's way more strong compared to bamboo. Bamboo tend to break, you know, after a few years, but at least when they break down, they will compose because it's a natural materials compared to, for example, plastic-based one. While if it's a wooden one, normally, if it's go a bit wet, you can just put it under the sun, and then it will be nice and looks, you know, looks great again. So, and then for the wood one gets moldy. Yes, it is sometimes, depends on the weather, but then because they're natural, it's always good to once a while put them in the sun. That's how you maintain, you know, just like any other things that we maintain in our life. Some wood materials, however, we do sometimes have some kind of lining to it, or some people use a natural beeswax to like coat it so that it will not get moldy easily. So there's always an option to coat it. Yes, it comes with a coated one from the store, but then once you use it for 2 years or 3 years, of course the coats will run off, and then you have to line it again and put another layer so that it will not get moldy. That's probably one of it. And always, you know, once a while, once a week, you know, put it in the sun is a nice way. If you're especially in Singapore, maybe it's, or Indonesia, it's okay, but some European customer, you know, or US based where the weather is more wet. So it's always nice to get it some air to dry the whole materials just to avoid the mold. You know, that's probably okay. So if there's no other questions, let me check if there's anything on the chat. If not, I think that's pretty much about us, you know. And yeah, I mean, enjoy, and thank you so much for delegates to having these great events, and hopefully some of you learned something from our presentation, and stay healthy. And yeah, thank you so much.